So what's been happening? Spinaltap has won 3 straight games. Uh, okay, and well, let's just focus on the live action because I think the problem in the last one is I was trying to catch up and it was very hard. They were playing so quickly. At least these guys play a little bit slower, so maybe it's harder to concentrate and focus on the moves. And I think part of the reason Little Plotkin was playing so quickly is he was trying to somehow sort of destabilize Lovelix, but it didn't work. So you notice how the knight is guarding these 2 squares and the bishop's guarding this square. So I really dislike. So this taking here is only a good move if you have something really concrete after it, because otherwise you're very open. So this, I mean, he can decide. The thing I note about Spinaltap is he plays quite safe. He won't like walk into danger like Jan Lee does. Jan Lee embraces danger and then walks away from it. Whereas Spinaltap will just run. Whereas if you go knight here, I think what he is afraid of is stuff like bishop here check, takes, and then knight here check. Queen here, king here, but there's still nothing obvious. Oppa says bishop takes c3 feels risky. Yep, knight at f5 though. I mean, takes. Yeah, but it's not over. Knight e4. So we're watching from xuanet's perspective. I guess it is xuanet's style to be a little bit risky. Ooh, that's brave. You know, when you have like g7 hanging open and you're going to give. Oh dear. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this king. There's this staring here as well. Ouch. He's just going to double take here, maybe. Oh no, he can't because this one's hanging. This can be taken, can't it? What am I missing? I don't understand this move. I still don't understand. Okay, so in time pressure, Spinaltap is not as good as xuanet. That's interesting. Oh. Queen there, king there. Oh, because white's got no blockers for a hot second there. So, but yeah, he's still fine. He needs a knight. He wants a knight because knight here would be very strong. Okay, obviously he doesn't get knight here. He gets knight here instead. He's got at least should be a draw with sort of knight here sorts of. Knight here should at least be a draw. White resigned. And I'm bad because I just don't see it. Okay, let's have a look at this. So in the final position, suppose, if he just takes, then obviously that just queen to h2 is mate. Oh, it was a knight. It was a knight he took. For some reason I thought it was a queen. Of course, yeah. Knight's hard because you're threatening knight here, checkmate. And if you try and defend the mate with, say, some bishop or something, then queen takes rook. So yeah, this is hard. So bishop here, just even here, queen at h2. Queen at h2. And you're threatening knight f2 mate. If you go rook takes, there's still knight at f2. Oh yeah, you just block him off. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice mate. Okay. So, whoever's requesting these, please stop. Who's doing it? I need a copy pasta. Okay, so three. Oh, that was yeah, that was xuanet's win. So it was a xuanet felt like a comeback win. So this is a tense. So it's 2-3, and he gets white. So he's got a chance for 3-3 maybe. And this is a nice position for white. Okay, we're we're feeling this is much more relaxing. Crazyhouse, slightly less crazy. Um, feels more familiar positions. So the idea, he's just going for knight takes pawn, knight takes, queen takes. So I think that's Spinaltap's slight weakness, sort of in time pressure, he might be a little bit too scared, that kind of thing. But if it comes to like positional stuff and just grinding out wins with like extra material, he may be very strong indeed. So this is very cheeky. Do you see what he's trying to do? If knight takes pawn, bishop here check, and then knight takes knight, with an eye on this, maybe. Something like bishop here check, pawn here, and then knight at. But he's certainly asking the question, what if bishop here check, so knight takes pawn, bishop takes, pawn at. Yeah, and it's not clear. This is being defended for now. So what do we think? It just feels so much more relaxing watching this after this last match. It's like, and that's kind of ironic, given that xuanet is famous for creating chaos on the board. Um, and it's a tense match. You know, xuanet is 2-3 down. Spinaltap is a formidable opponent, but it just, you can see both players are really thinking. Whereas the pace at which that last game was played was just crazy. Both players were just hammering out the moves at real pace. So, at some point h3 might come, but notice g2 is defended, so you can always just take and replace on g2 if ever black gets a pawn. So what's the... This point is interesting. So in this sort of position, the queen is kind of stuck on the queen side, and white would love to keep it that way in a way. Maybe even trapping the queen at some point. Well, turns out that Spinaltap felt sufficiently trapped he wanted to break free, and I was expecting d4, but no, he's just going really direct now. So where could the knight go? And okay, d4 does come. So white only has a queen in hand, but does look like a very pleasant position. Whereas black's got all these minors and potential, but he needs to somehow coordinate something. Oh, that's a good move. d3. Just sticking a piece right in the heart of the opponent's position. But what about queen here check? Queen here check. Whoa, 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 whoa. Was this a missed opportunity? Queen here check if knight back takes. And then you could give up the queen, take this bishop, but maybe you don't want to do that. Okay, so instead he's pushing away, but this looks risky. So Oppa says knight if f4 instead with knight e2, pawn h3, f3 ideas. Yeah, that was also knight f4, but when? What? I just looked away a second. What? when was these knight f4 ideas? Because knight f4, bishop is covers here. So who's doing this? Is this automatic or something? Is lichess automatically doing this? I'm gonna have to look after the next game to see if someone's doing it. Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, I missed it. I guess I'll just stick with the live action. And I'm going to have to try and catch whoever's requesting analysis before they do it. Okay, so this is, yeah, this we saw this sort of setup. So this, the problem with this, so one problem is g4. Takes and simply pawn here, yeah. Or bishop there. Well, 3-3, it's a tense match, isn't it? So yeah, you don't want to give up control. So if you just take, you lose control. So pawn takes. If you can get away with it, you go pawn takes. And GMBW says even lifetime score as well. Yes. Bishop here. Oh my goodness. So a lot of pressure. The D file potentially opening. The H file open. Okay, he just opens up this G file. Oh my goodness. So he wants these sorts of ideas. If white decides to go for the piece, does it work? Can white run away? Just grab the piece and run? Well, we're seeing this. He wants the free piece. I don't see. I mean, I guess he just grabs that at the end of the line. I think you want to go knight there check first. You don't want to waste time with the rook check, because otherwise you might never get the knight check. If rook check and he runs, queen here check and he runs. Not sure. I really don't know how to assess these positions. Or rook here check and he blocks. Knight here check, you no longer have knight takes pawn. You see he can block here, for example, with the bishop. So you lose knight takes pawn. That's the problem. Hi Clearcast. I've been doing a very bad stream today, attempting to cover Little Plotkin against Lovelix, but the match was too chaotic to really follow at all what was going on. And this is a little bit more relaxing, but still difficult. A bit too high level. I think you should do it. But yeah. Rook d8, king e1, queen d2, king f1, queen takes c2, yep. E takes f6, e takes f6. Rook d1 ideas, but just block on e1. Yeah, I didn't see anything there. So actually I liked the bishop block here, just to get an extra attack on g7. No, Plotkin was crushed. I mean, even the games he won, he had to win from like losing positions in the games he won and lost like 6-3 or something. But to be honest, it was very hard to understand Crazyhouse. and I don't know, it will need better players to have a look to see if anything funny was going on. Okay, so queen here, pawn here ideas are... Okay, so I think xuanet should have this 2 pawns and a queen. Okay, he goes for the pawn first. Why would he do that? Because if you take queen here, pawn here, king here, queen takes rook, king here, I don't... Yeah, where is the mate here? And the queen here, there's also king here. Okay, of course, you go pawn, first. Okay, pawn first, but then... Okay, you can't go up because queen here is mate. Interesting. So king takes pawn, pawn there, but just run back. Queen here, run here, then queen takes rook. Okay, so that's what xuanet is planning. You see, these players are taking enough time that my slow mind can sort of gradually figure it out, what they're thinking. Whereas the last match, it was far too crazy. So whoever's doing it, yeah. So it's a mate in 4 apparently at this point, because someone's requested analysis. It's fine to look at analysis at the end of a match. The purpose is to stop openings. So king f1, queen at g2, king here, and you don't just go queen takes rook. No. You do this, and the idea is, oh, there's no room for that king, so it's a double checkmate. So that was the line which I didn't see. So xuanet takes a 4-3 lead. And we're having this sort of thing. So it takes... Can you afford to take back? Throws in a check. Okay, so black gets quite a safe setup, but white probably saves the piece. Ah, Zarazar has some comments about how to pronounce her name. One needs to pronounce it on accent on the second A. Zaraza? 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 I don't know. Gonna have to record it. You're gonna have to start streaming Zaraza. Also, how do you pronounce the Z? Is it like a ZZ or is it like a Spanish Z, like Zaraza? If I was Spanish, I'd have to say Zaraza. Zaraza. That sounds good, actually. Oppa says Guga friendly position. Yeah, you have to roll the R and pronounce it like a Spanish person. Okay. So, knight at f4 didn't blunder a knight. Knight at f4 didn't blunder a knight. Knight at f4. I don't understand. Since before bishop e7. Okay, yeah. So at this point, knight at f4 does not blunder a knight, because if this, then knight takes pawn is checkmate. Yeah, okay. That's the sort of classic Oppa swindle, right? It's kind of funny. Not clear why you'd want your knight on f4, but that is pretty cool though. Spotting helpmate in 2. It's pretty cool. Helpmate in 2 in the opening. It's a good spot. So yeah, what do we see here? We're seeing, I mean, Spinaltap's got what he wanted. That's the only thing about this position. He's playing the kind of position he'd be very happy with, where he can grind. Spinaltap will like to grind, and I think that's the only problem with this position from xuanet's perspective, is Spinaltap can grind this one. And someone's telling me that Cinnamon73 is also playing his lichess match, his CWC match right now. So, wow, there's a lot of action against FM Suzal, SUSAL. Okay, so Spinaltap's happy to to put his king on f8, just to make sure it's not in the pin. So xuanet must be thinking, how do I break down this guy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course he's thinking, how do I break down this guy? And he's keeping the bishop, I guess, as a defender. Takes, there's always going to be drops here. So he's keeping the bishop back. And if he is going to keep the bishop back, maybe this comes, but notice if this ever comes, then e3 might become weak. Well, it shouldn't be weak, the bishop covers, but I was just thinking, how is this bishop going to join the attack? And actually the black king looks quite safe, despite this imminent attack. And the queen feels out of play, so apart from the king on f8, if you could swap the king and queen, maybe. Anyway, it feels quite comfortable for black. Well, it feels comfortable for black, despite the weird king. Feels okay. It feels better. Yeah. He has a big center, piece down, but you don't need pieces. But yeah, this could easily swing. This is quite intelligent in a way. It's saying this is my angle of attack, as it were. Oh gosh. Because if you went king here, there was a double check here, king here, and then knight takes pawn is actually checkmate. That's a double check, so you can't like take the queen or something. He has to move the king back, and knight takes pawn is checkmate. So he just instant takes because of that. That was a good find. And you wouldn't see that coming. A king on f8. It doesn't look as if it's imminently going to get checkmated in 2 or something. So, okay, so he gives up the queen, but he's going to fight back and try and win it. Oh. King comes here, queen here. This time they went too fast for me. So in the final position, and I was going to have to just post that quickly before someone. So just to post here, king comes here, queen goes here, king goes here, knight here. Opera, if you're requesting analysis, please don't request analysis till after match is complete. Takes, it's probably someone else, but I'm just saying. Here, bishop here, king here. Why am I not seeing it? Oh yeah, just a pawn, because the bishop is covering. So that's it. So, yeah, mate ends on b6. So, 5-3, xuanet now only needs a draw to get the match. That's a bit of a turnaround after 4 straight wins. Yeah, that's quite strange, wasn't it, Oppa? I noticed it's not your style to request analysis. And there was no one else there, and yet the thing was requesting analysis. So maybe it's a new lichess feature that is just requesting analysis automatically. I'll ask the lichess support, in fact, if that's what's going on. Because that's what it looks like. So I'm just quickly asking support to see Yeah, someone saying sometimes it does that. Sometimes it seems to be, and I've never seen that before, so it seems to be something new. Just asking to support what's going on. Knight takes d4, says pawn and training, looks strong for black here, and it's what happened. So why is it so strong? Because he took the bishop, so he wants to put a bishop on e3 and pick up that knight. So it's, yeah, there's a good find. Takes, takes, takes. Still decent though. And pawn training says, usually in these positions as white, it's good to just play king h1 before things get too complicated. And Zarasa said knight takes d4, so good spot, Zarasa. And I should say, Zarasa has a blog forthcoming on the Crazyhouse blog, so I should post the link to Crazyhouse blog. Check it out. Zarasa has a blog there coming up about the styles of different Crazyhouse players. I still need to put that up. So that should be up this week when I get a chance. Okay, so he's, yeah, e3 is a weakness, and just going to plug away at the weakness. I don't know, I feel like this game, xuanet will be in his comfort zone because it's not too complex yet. And he'll like understand how to play these. I was just thinking this. He'll understand really well how to play these positions. Whereas the last game was getting quite crazy, and I thought Spinaltap might grind something, but then xuanet found this a wonderful combination with the knight check, with this sort of beautiful idea. Oh, okay, so this is something interesting I just got told. It says, when you're playing a titled player, it will auto-request analysis. Or sometimes if you're playing a new player, it will auto-request. So this is why both the little Plotkin match and the Spinaltap match, they're auto-requesting, is because the title player is involved. This is apparently a feature on lichess, which is, it's a feature which is a bug, as it were. And I was getting rather frustrated about it, but apparently it's a titled player feature. Okay, sorry, I got lost in eek. Bishop takes pawn is coming, right? So just this I just missed something very important. Takes, takes, bishop here, knight here, check. Wonderful move, bringing the queen into the attack, doubling up, attacking, attacking. Bishop, he doesn't go bishop takes pawn, he goes rook takes pawn. So what's he trying? He's going for something really sneaky. Don't go to h8. Going to h8 will get you mated. Okay, that's smart. But now he's lost the bishop. I'm afraid I've missed all the chat, and my screen is, what's going on here? White resigns. Okay, this game confused me. So everything seems so calm and beautiful, and then okay, and then xuanet went crazy, and I'm going to turn engine on, and I can do this now. So he went takes, takes, bishop here, check. King g1 was good, apparently. Just run away. King g1. I mean, king g1 is brave. Just trying to invite at h2, king h1, and just say g1 is safe. Okay, that is brave. But okay, instead Spinal, as I said, Spinal will always play safety first. But apparently it's a mistake, because knight g4 is a brilliant move here. Takes, takes, exploiting the pin. Okay, I saw this. Takes. Double up. Double up is apparently a mistake. And the best move is rook at e3 to try and deflect this bishop away from here, because then you have queen takes g3, king g1, queen h2, king here, and bishop g3, double checkmate. So that was, so rook e3 is a crazy hard move to find, but okay. So double up is a very natural move. So again, the queen can't be taken because of the pin, but you could take this way. But okay, he just doubles up in protection. Again, rook e3 is very powerful, but it was missed. So this, rook takes f4 is a very interesting move. It just takes, takes, and then rook takes f4. Queen here is apparently a mistake. I said don't go king h8, you get mated, and I'm just wrong. Why is this not mate? Because knight here check, you just take it. Okay. I need to check the Twitch chat as well. So this happened instead. Takes, takes, takes. And then he just resigned because he realized I'm losing my queen and I can't stop just simple pawn here check and queen here checkmate. And if I protect the pawn here with, I don't know, a pawn here or something, there's just stuff like queen takes knight. And if pawn just rook takes rook, and if you go with the king, then queen at h1 apparently is the most efficient. Queen at h1 block. Oh, knight at g1. Knight at g1 is smart. King h4 at g5, king takes g5, bishop at e3, block him this way, and then just mate him with pawns, I guess. Maybe we show this line. So if he blocks, you push him up the board, and then you keep on pushing him up the board, and you block him. Why not just go bishop at h6? Yeah, bishop at h6 is good. I don't know why I misread the evaluation. And then at bishop at g6 to finish. And then, okay, and then pawn g5 to finish. Okay, yeah, just mating with pawns. Just use the fact you're cut. So that's why he resigned. Okay, so Oppa says he'll be right back in 5 minutes against Jasugi99, and I'll enjoy watching that because I felt quite stressed about these games. I don't feel I've given very good commentary. What I've just provided is live entertainment. It hasn't been good commentary. So we'll be back with Oppa. Maybe I go fetch a drink, and then we're going to be back with Oppa against Jasugi99. I think that'll be fun. Look, this was a fantastic match, but I kind of only got to cover half of this match and half of the other match. I just felt I didn't really provide very good coverage. But I can just show you what happened. That's all I'm doing here. Yeah, so this looks dangerous from white, but just want to say it isn't anything to be too worried about. And we saw that because xuanet ended up winning this game. So this apparently is a mistake. Apparently it's a bad mistake because you can just go knight takes e3, f takes e3, and at e4. And there are too many holes on your light squares. So that's apparently. So best was to go king to d2. But okay, did this. I mean, so it's a bit of a grind. So this was game one. But yeah. And so xuanet won. Just to show game two, because now Spinaltap fought back, winning as black. So just want to show how that happened. Yeah, the fast attack on g2, but no follow-up, no pieces to support. No pieces to support, but what happens next? Somehow, this is a game-losing move. He needs to keep pushing moves like at e6, which seems crazy. What's the idea? I mean, at e6 is really beautiful, because if you go queen takes e6, you pick up the queen. But why can't you just go pawn takes e6? Free pawn? Oh, of course, knight d8. Ooh. And you pick up the queen if he goes back to g8. And if you go to e7, you still go at f7. And wow, this is just really uncomfortable. So, but what else do you do? If you go king takes e6, you get mated in 1, so that's no good. Okay, so this is just it's pretty funny actually. You have to admit it's pretty funny. You try and save the queen like this, and then there's like at f7. At f7, and the queen has to go somewhere. And apparently queen d7 is best. And now there's a crucial move for white. There's only one move that's winning for white here, and it's at b7. So the idea is if queen takes queen, you take this bishop with a knight first, and you want rook takes queen with check. But if rook takes knight, again, we don't take the queen, we first throw in a check, but he can just block, and then we take the queen. No, we did something wrong here. Whoa, 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 whoa. What did we do wrong? Knight takes d1. Queen takes queen. I don't understand this move. Pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, oh, and knight takes queen. I don't understand at all. Zixon says, pawn at b7 is a very hard move to find there. Spinaltap says, sorry I played so bad, terrible match. No, you played fine. I'm just having a look at some of these games. You played fine, it's just we weren't up to the level of understanding. And sometimes maybe, so some games you played a little bit into xuanet's comfort zone, and some games you really didn't, and it was really tough. So this game, this is just really hard. In this position, white had to find the move e6, and we're just looking at, oh my goodness, this move e6. Because the idea of queen takes pawn, knight d8 check picks up the queen, and if pawn takes, I just don't understand it, but there's knight d8, king here, pawn f7, queen here, and taking the queen and black is fine apparently, completely fine, completely safe. But you have to play pawn at b7, and after queen takes queen, you have... no. Oh, I see, after queen takes queen, rook takes queen is okay, is it? Okay, so if queen takes queen, rook takes queen is okay, then that's okay to find. But if you have to go rook b8, and then take this to get a knight, or e queen, it makes no difference because it's going to get taken, then this is just confusing. But okay, I don't understand this beat. Maybe someone in chat can explain why do you go b7 here? I don't. So the reason you go b7 here is probably because you can't go bishop takes b7. I guess that's the only point. To deflect the bishop, because then you take, and then queen lands on e8, keeping the king from running out. Here, queen takes pawn, and now he runs out, but now you take the bishop with check. Okay, I kind of seeing it now. And e3 is checkmate. So it's just a deflection idea. Okay. Okay, so there was some crazy defense here, but once xuanet played this, once he played this, apparently black takes over, and I can believe that very much. Just solid, and lots of pieces attacking the king. So pawn here, bishop here, queen comes into e5. So what's the threat of queen e5? Just he wants a trade of queens, yeah. And he doesn't stop the trade of queens, yeah. And if he tries to block the trade of queens in some way, then he just grabs a knight. Yeah, and he's got knight here check. Okay, very nice. So that was game 2. Ah, what have I done? So let's go back, and hopefully that doesn't mess up the... And so, as I said, Opperweisen will be playing Jasugi 99 soon, so we will join that when it starts. But let's look at game 3. So what do I think of this? So this looks sound, even though it says it's not sound, because it feels well defended. If the pawn can get to h6, it looks quite nasty, to be honest. But g5 is the correct response. Bishop h2. Yeah, it's only square for the bishop here. Pawn f3. So black wants something like a knight on g3, or he wants knight takes. He wants knight takes bishop. Why does he want knight? Okay, yeah, he wants to capture the knight and then sort of capture the knight, then capture the bishop, and then yeah. What's the move order? If white just does nothing here, because that's bit. Oh, of course, it's just knight takes e3. He's planning. Okay, sorry, I missed that completely. So he defends e3 and takes. I'm just always very worried about g3 here, but okay. So it's just a complicated game, I guess. Bishop here. And knight is landing on here, winning the rook. In that case, it's just black's position fell apart. So I guess the g6 attack was strong, basically. It needed sort of like rook f8 somehow, or something to defend, apparently. But what else? King f8 seemed fine. So I'm just trying to figure out, what did black do wrong here? Just suddenly he's losing. So this is the losing move. Bishop here, apparently. Seems logical, because you don't want to land a knight to land on g6. But it doesn't work, because the knight can hit that bishop with tempo and land on g6 anyway. So the correct move was e6, let the knight land on g6, and just take f7. Interesting. And then if ever knight takes rook, we have a square to run to. Well, okay. So game 3. I said I was going to go and get a drink. I need to manage to do that. Okay, so we saw this again. Oh yeah, this is this is a very good kind of setup in these sorts of positions. You try and so obviously xuanet had to find a different opening as white after all this happened. Queen takes h3 was the move here, which was missed. Because if you take it, you're probably getting mated. Because you try and run here and just take the queen. Ouch! And your own king is just so safe. So yeah, queen takes knight was an easy move, which could have been played, but black is still completely winning. Knight at f2. So queen takes knight came, and it's a crush, basically.